Okay, so in this video we're going to talk about repeat invoices, which has been designed for account customers. Let's start by going into the user list, because that's a very exciting place to look in first. Yeah, we have an extra column here, and for those users with the tick against them, they will now see a fantastic new tab at the top here, which says repeat. This lists everything in the repeat daybook, if you will, with a process button on it. So by default it says process today. So this is anything that is waiting in the system to be invoiced on a repeat basis. The repeat could be once a month, end of the month, fortnightly, or daily. So you can invoice every Wednesday, you can invoice every Monday, Thursday and Saturday, all that sort of business. So let's quickly enter a transaction, because it'll probably make a lot more sense if I enter one. So I've pressed the new order button, and you can see here we have a new stage and it says repeat. So here we go, normal screen, it's entered account skips. I'm going to just select A and Us Builders, which is ABS01. There we go, A&S Builders Limited. Okay, let's enter some reference for them. Now, it's put a delivery date in there. That's totally relevant, because as the system processes, it will change that delivery date according to the schedule. So we're going to put in a site phone number. It's Sam Smith. It's a mixed. It's closed. It's off-road. I just pop in my old email my old address. Very used to entering that. Obviously we'd have a supplier. We've already got a email account at ans.co.uk for the customer, so let's enter a supplier. So now we're giving it a supplier to handle the contract, and of course it's a wheelie bin, so if I was more experienced I'd know the actual yeah, it's WHB something or other. So let's, I don't know, put 150, and it's costing us 100 a time. So I think that is just about all we need. We've only got one thing red, and that's the new validate button. You can see up here we've got it as a repeat. There is a button here which I haven't pressed yet, but I'm just going to demonstrate validation. So I'm just going to press validation. It's going to tell me I haven't actually added any repeat details. So let's press the repeat button. So in here, this enables me to set the repeat schedule, when it's going to be invoiced. And as I said, it could be monthly. So here we've got repeat on the 30th of every month. Currently, as I make this video, we're actually on the 30th, so it's set to the 30th. If I wanted it at the end of every month, I just put 99 in there, or maybe I want it on the 15th of every month, in which case it knows that the next date would be the 15th of November. Now I might want it fortnightly, in which case I could say, okay, well, yeah, I'll have it on the 15th and I'll have it at the end of every month, in which case it's set it to the 31st, because that would be the next day, which is actually tomorrow. If you think it's lost track, you can press the recalc button. But it's important to realise that this is all driven by this one date here. So basically the system says anything in the past or today, I'll invoice on. And then once it's been invoiced, it then looks at that schedule and works out when the next date is. It then adjusts that date. If it needs to be, it'll invoice it again and again and again until it's in the future. So, for instance, on this transaction here, if I hadn't already invoiced the 15th, I could go back. I could wind it back and select the 15th, in which case now it should do the invoice for the 15th. Likewise, I could also set this to a daily schedule, which is, I think, what we're going to aim for here. So we could say, I don't know, we want this bin changing and invoicing on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday. Okay, so that now thinks Monday, we're actually on a Friday, so really, oh, hello, we've got a slight bug here, because today is a Friday, it should really be the 30th. So I've made a manual adjustment there. You might have to make an odd manual adjustment. The important thing is to keep an eye on this. Okay, so we've set that. Now down below we've got two boxes which enable us to pop in some information. So The first box is actually a summary which we see in this list. So whatever we want to see in that list, we type in here. So I don't know, we could put in here, what is it? It's a 240 litre wheelie bin, changed on Monday, Tuesday and Friday. Okay. Now the next line down is so effectively the invoice is generated in the normal way. It has the delivery date to whatever the date is on the schedule, followed by the stock code like it's always had. But in here we can add an extra line to that invoice. So we've got a mistake here, a spelling mistake. So we could put some more details in there, maybe a phone number for extra collections or something. But that's a little bit more extra flexibility. We also have a tick box here to disable this repeat invoice. So if we want to cancel it in the future, we just press that edit button, come in here and tick this box, and that will stop it being posted ever again. Anyway, I'm going to commit that. It's just going to tell me a little brief detail of the schedule. And you can see it's appeared on the left hand side here. Now it says it's not validated because we haven't pressed the validate button again. Now it's valid. Now it's given it a reference, rep 10, look, and it's updated the schedule summary here. So now it's validated, everything's okay. It's ready to be processed, which we'll do in a second. And while we're doing this, let's just go into, is it job search, ABS01, yeah, let's just search. There we can see it appears in here as a repeat. Normal transactions don't have repeats. If there's any quotes in there, they pop up there. Plus you would see any, there must be an example here as I've been testing the system. There we go, that one there. Okay, well there's two, there's the actual, this is the actual driving transaction. So if I click on that, that's the one that where we edit the schedule, and then we would have multiple repeat invoices. So they're invoices created and sent out of the system for the customer to pay. Now of course you'd have your purchase agreement in place probably with the supplier to change the bins so it doesn't do anything with the purchase side. That's purely handled in the accounts system. Okay, so that covers that. Now let's go back and we're going to actually process this. So we process it simply by pressing the process button. And up pops a window. There's a little bit of instructions there just to remind you that it's all driven by that next process date, which is actually listed here. You can see all that. Okay, so we've got the facility here to send emails without preview. Let's untick that, tick that. While that's unticked, it will just pop them up on the screen for us to change, edit, and then send if we wish. Otherwise, if we tick it, it just sends the invoices out of Outlook. Now, because it's important that Outlook's going to work, there is a button here just to check that we can communicate with Outlook, because certain bits of Microsoft security or virus checkers don't like other software sending emails through Outlook, so sometimes they, very rare, but it's worthwhile checking because it will upset the process. And we also have the facility here to limit the number of accounts it's going to process. So, you know, when you first try the system, you might just go in it tentatively and just process one account after another just to check everything's fine. Well, you might say, right, I'll process them all, in which case you put 99 in here. You never need to change it again. It remembers the value and all that sort of business. So let's process 10 transactions. And there we go. It's now processing. It loads. It lists the schedule. Oh, trouble is we're now going to be bombarded by emails. It then posts the sales invoice into the account system, gets the account system to print them off. So we can see that accounts at ans.co.uk is going to have quite a lot of emails there, quite a lot of bills. So now it's just finished, and basically this log here has been logged to a text file, so we can go in and we can see what it's been up to. So this shows you a bit of detail. I'll look at the second one down because a bit more detail there. So basically it's pulled up A&S Builders, and it said the schedule's every Monday, Friday. The next schedule was the 26th, and therefore invoice Monday, yes, Monday, Wednesday, and of course it's Friday today, so it's done 3 invoices, and it's going to say the next one is on the 2nd, which I believe would be next Monday. So yeah, that's correct. The third one is Tuesday and Friday, so it did Tuesday, and because Friday is today, and therefore it's going to do Tuesday, which is one day greater than Monday, so yes, the 3rd of November, and so it goes on. So there we can see, it's just churn through the list. So someone would run this every few days to create all the invoices, which are now in the account system and ready to accept payment and be chased for any debts, etc.